Okay, so I wanted to make a video on some of the good things and some of the bad things about religion because I feel like when it comes to religion, people are so one-sided. They either absolutely love religion and all that stuff, or they completely hate religion and they're against it. And I just wanted to shed some light on both sides for people who can be on either side. And sorry, I was moving my water bottle off the desk because it was kind of annoying me. And before I actually get into the pros and cons of it, I just want to say that I really don't care what people believe as long as it doesn't affect other people who don't have that same belief as you. That's my stand on religion. So, here are the good things about religion. They have a lot of charities, especially for the poor, for the hungry, the sick, and they have a lot of food pantries, and I think that's very good. Like, especially with Christianity, and I'm not sure about other religions, but I go to a Catholic school, have been for most of my life, and Christianity is like a pretty big thing here in America. Christians want to follow the message of Jesus and do good things, and so that sparks a lot of charities and a lot of shelters, a lot of food pantries, and I think that's a very good thing. It helps a lot of people. And I think it also gives people hope. And what I mean by that is that people who are struggling in life, people who don't have a lot, people who don't have the opportunities to make better lives, I think it does give hope to other people. Because in most religions, I'm not sure about all religions, but in most religions, after death you usually either go to heaven or hell. Most of the time it's heaven, because I don't know, it's just most of the time is heaven, and I think that does shed some hope to people who have really miserable lives and can't do anything about it. Another good thing that I have thought of is that I'm not sure about everywhere in the world or everywhere in America, but I have noticed that at least in my area of Massachusetts, that if you go to a religious school, then they have better education than most public schools. I've been doing some research because I don't like my school at all, and so I've been wanting to transfer out. So I've been looking at a lot of the schools in my area that are public or they're vocational, and so far my school or some of the other religious schools in my area have a far better education than public schools or vocational schools, or at least that's just in my area. And I think that has to do with that the public education system isn't that great, and I think that especially with religious schools, or not even just religious school, private schools in general, they try a lot harder to give you a good education. Yes, my school is religious, but it's also a college prep school, it's private, and most private schools are in some way, shape, or form religious, and that's how I'm making the connection of religious schools having a better education. I'm not saying religious schools are automatically better, but a lot of the time, since they're private schools usually have better education, so yeah. And before I get to the bad things about religion, I just want to say that there are good things involving religion. Like I said, there are charities, food shelters, food pantries and homeless shelters. Those are very good, but you don't necessarily have to be religious or affiliate with a religion or to be part of a religious organization to help people or to start organizations like that. And like I said with the school thing, it doesn't necessarily have to be a religious school. It doesn't even have to be a private school. We just need to get better education, whether or not it's public or private. Those are my personal views on the public school system. And so now for the bad things about religion. I think it's kind of a lack of encouragement. Now this is kind of contradictory to what I said about the good things where it gives people hope, but what I mean by when I say a lack of encouragement is that I think it kind of gives people this idea that it's like, oh, I don't really have to do anything in life because I'm just going to be rewarded in the end, or especially I think there's especially a lack of encouragement when it comes to science, because religion and science butt heads in a lot of places, and a lot of religious people don't like all of these advances that we're making in science because they think it goes against their religion, and they think that scientists are trying to play God in a sense. And I just feel like that's how it's a lack of encouragement, and especially with people, like I said, some people don't have the same opportunities as other people, but I feel like it's kind of like saying, I don't have the opportunity, so I don't have to try. It's one thing to try and not to succeed, and then have the hope of a better life, but it's another thing to not try and just think that you'll be rewarded in the end. And I remember I was talking to one person, actually, my ex actually, and he said that he can do whatever he wants in life, and then as long as he's sincere about his apology before he dies, he'll go to heaven. That's the kind of thing when I say lack of encouragement. That's obvious. Even if there is a God, even if there is an afterlife that rewards you for doing good things in life and for being sincere when you apologize, you still can't do something like that. I don't think it works that way. And if it does work that way, I'm pretty sure it's like fucked up. Excuse my language, but literally though. I think that's just a ridiculous thing to think, and that's why it's a lack of encouragement and kind of counter-progressive when it comes to things like science and whatnot. And then this is my personal, least favorite thing about religion, is so much hatred that it's spread. Like I said before, I don't care if you're religious or not, but if you put it down someone's throat or use it to hate on people, that's my biggest issue with it. If you're a religious person and you completely support gay people, completely support science, completely support I don't know, say not completely support, but you think it's women's right. Actually, no. The thing with abortion, I was going to say if you support abortion, but you don't even have to be religious to not support it. But I just feel like religion has caused so much hate. Like a long time ago with the Greeks and the Romans, they didn't encourage it, but they accepted having gay relationships. And true that they did have religions, but their religions were okay with that, or sexuality maybe wasn't even a thing with their religions and whatnot. But especially now, religion has caused so much separation between people. Like if you hear someone is a Muslim, then most Americans, I should say, are going to get a negative connotation because of that. Or if you hear someone's an atheist, you're going to get a negative connotation because of that. If you hear someone's gay and you're super religious, it's like, oh, I don't like you because you're gay, and that's wrong. And there have just been so many things like this, so many wars, so much hatred, so much violence, and a lot of it is because of religion. I just feel like that if religion didn't play a part in history or didn't play a part in today's society, then we would be much better off. We'd be more free-thinking and more accepting people. That's my personal opinion of it. But like I said, if you're someone who is free-thinking, someone who is accepting of people, whether it goes along with your religion or not, great. Like I said, I don't really care what you believe, as long as you don't use it to hate on people, or as long as you don't shove it down people's throats. So that's just my 2 cents on this. I know this was sort of a long video, it's almost 10 minutes, but I just wanted to get that out there since most people are usually just either in full support of it or completely hate it, and just wanted to shed some light on both sides. I'm an atheist, but I do go to Catholic school. I have been for almost my entire life. So, yeah. Hope this is helpful. Peace.